Bow Hunt or Die is being brought to you by Matthews, Lost Camo, Lone Wolf Portable Tree Stands, Hunter Safety System, Heartland Wildlife Institute, New Archery Products, Tinks, Carbon Express, Stealth Cam, Moose Utility Division, Lacrosse Footwear, Scent Blocker, Pine Ridge Archery, HHA Sports, Stick and Pick, and the Can Cooker.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Bow Hunt or Die. We are at the end of the season. It's cold out there. Justin, what do we got in store?
Well, Todd, like you said, bow hunting season is over here in Illinois, but we do have a couple really cool late season hunts that we're going to check out, which is fitting because both these hunts take place in sub-zero temperatures, which is what we've got outside right now. So, Todd, the first hunt we got is Richie Music hunting over Heartland Wildlife Institute turnip plot, which in the long run, it looks like it paid out for him.
Yeah, there's no question about it, Justin. I mean, I know you and I talked to Richie early in the season. This is actually on a spot that we hunt as well, not too far away. Of course, you and I only snuck in there a few times and hunted this plot when Richie wasn't looking.
And there was never any deer around for
yeah,
some
I know.
reason.
Figures. Richie then goes in and gets one. But you know what? He did his homework. He picked a great location. He got the win right. Let me not ruin the hunt. Let's join up with him right now.
Cold, extremely cold. -7 air temperature. I'm not sure what the wind chill is. We're putting on the heavy gear tonight. Get our hunter safety system on. Finish layering. It's very important to layer. When you're hunting in these conditions and you're going to try and sit for 3, 4, 5 hours, you have to layer. Your body can literally shut down on you. I'm hoping the camera will hold out. I'm not sure how that battery is going to do in this cold of conditions, but we'll give it all we got. Another quick tip for you guys. If you're hunting late season and you're going to be layering and wearing multiple layers to stay warm, heavy layers, a good tip is to shoot your bow. Get all your gear on, go out in your yard and practice shooting to make sure that when that moment of truth comes, even with all this on, you can still draw your bow and make that shot when it counts. Very important. Let's do it, guys. Bow hunt or die. We'll see you in the tree. All right, guys. About 12 o'clock, January 7th, 2014. We're back out in Northwest Illinois, sitting over our Heartland Wildlife Institute turnip plot. The deer have absolutely tore it up. It looks like a bomb went off in the middle of the food plot. It is absolutely freezing cold. Just to touch the release is unbelievable. The actual temperature is -11 without the wind chill. I've got my neck gaiter, and I've also got a big face cover just to try to protect the skin as much as possible. Last thing you want to do is get hypothermia sitting out here late season trying to seal the deal. So either way, we're pumped, man. Late season, we got less than 2 weeks left in the Illinois archery season. I know they're going to come in here tonight to this plot. The wind is perfect, southwest wind. Yesterday was 50 below with the wind chill. There's no reason for these deer not to be in here tonight tearing up these turnips. So here we go. We're nestled in. Now it's just a waiting game. Bow hunt or die. 4th and long, and I'm going for it. Stick with us. It's going to be a good hunt. This is by far the coldest conditions I've ever hunted in. My phone says it's 35 below with the wind chill. Man. We've been in the tree 3 hours. We've seen one doe. The last hour's the magic hour. I'm about froze to death. I just need the deer to pile in here, and I'm running out of time. Keep your fingers crossed. Bow hunted high. Got it done. I can't believe it. It looks like a really good buck too. Yes. 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 Flying solo, late season, hunting over my Heartland Wildlife Institute turnip plot. I knew the deer were going to pile in here. Last light. Here they come down the hill, single file. Last but not least, I had probably 8 or 9 deer out in the plot, some does, and a couple of small bucks. I knew a big one was going to show, and wouldn't you know it, here he come, right in on a string, 32-yard shot. Unbelievable. And I think he's done right there in the ditch. We're going to give him some time. We're going to get down and sneak out of here. And that's it. What a hunt. Oh my God. Yes, bow hunter die, guys. Oh, man. All right, guys. Here he is. He ran out of the food plot and made it down into one of the steepest ditches he could get in before wiping out. And went over and got help from one of the gentlemen that lives out here on the property. He brought the tractor over to help me get him out and reached down in the ditch and grabbed him by his horns to pull him up out and into the field so we could start doing a little video. And wouldn't you know it, first the left, then the right. There he is. First time that's ever happened to me. But if you want to come in close here, you kind of see how these just popped loose. They came right out of the sockets with just a little bit of pressure. I didn't make the greatest shot on this buck. I don't have to make up any excuses on it. He took a step as I released and I hit him far back. Luckily enough for me, I was fortunate enough to catch that femoral artery. He didn't make it 80 yards from where he was shot. But this is a first for me. I'm still in awe. It's got a big head on him. I've heard of it. I've seen it in videos. I've never had it happen to me, but there you go. I mean, proof's in the pudding. It popped right off. So that's going to put a wrap on my 2013 Illinois archery season. I was fortunate enough to harvest a buck November 8th, and now this guy tonight. I'm super pumped. Bow hunter die, guys. Late season edition coming to a close. This is it for Dickie Tunes. We'll see y'all in the tree next spring. Next fall.
Well, Todd, you know, planning that food plot for Richie really paid off, and I got to hand it to him. He stuck with it. He persevered. He hunted a lot during the late season. I remember he'd call me or send me a text and be like, hey, man, I'm going out to the Lees. I'm going to hunt. And I'm like, dude, have fun. It's freezing outside. I ain't going. And, you know, in the long run, it paid off for him.
Well, and I kept hearing stories that his wife didn't want him to go hunting anymore. I don't know. I'm confused. He kept going out a lot more than what I was able to go out in the late season here. But you know what? One of the things that I got to tell you, Justin, that I can recall, we were together, because I lost my phone that day, was when we went and planted those food plots. We did ours earlier in the day. Then we went to Richie's plot. And I can remember dropping that drill into the ground, and you were out there as well, and you could just feel the difference in the moisture in the soil. I mean, this was a year where we had major drought, but yet, because of the spot that Richie selected, and I don't know so much it was by design and Richie even thought about this, but because of the way the canopy was, it had more moisture in that ground. It was amazing. Within a week, and we planted the same exact thing, his stuff came blasting out of the ground, and his turnips were way bigger than ours were, and I mean, it really paid off.
Well, yeah, he was kind of, I mean, I don't know how well you guys can tell in the video, but he was on a pretty good hillside, and he was on kind of the north side of the hill, and I remember when he planted it, I was thinking to myself, you know, this plot's probably not going to get a lot of sun. I don't know how well it's going to grow, but it turned out to be a good thing for him because, you know, all the runoff from that hill was going right there. You know, he had some shade, had moisture in the ground. It's amazing the difference between his plot and our plot that was up on the top of a hill in the direct sunlight. I mean, end of August into September, we literally had no rain. You know, so our plots grew a little bit, and they did attract some deer early in the season, but our bulbs just didn't get big enough. You know, those turnips just didn't get big enough for the late season. Richie's turnips, I mean, they were like softball size, and we all know when the temperatures get super cold like they were, and you get snow on the ground, the deer absolutely hammer those turnips.
Right. Well, and I remember Richie on several occasions, he would text me and he'd be like, you know, Todd, where are the deer? They're not coming into the plot. They're not here. And I just kept telling Richie, you got to wait till it gets cold. It's got to be cold.
Well, yeah.
Bam.
Well, that's the hard thing for a lot of us. We want to hunt a lot in October, a lot in November when the temperatures aren't so brutal. So he's, you know, checking the cameras on the food plot and the deer aren't hitting it. But, you know, that type of food plot is made for late season hunting in those types of conditions. And, you know, he waited until the time was right. We were actually at the ATA show when he shot that deer. He sent me a text. I remember being on the show floor being like, awesome, you know, Richie killed a buck. And here we are working. So, you know, congratulations to Richie. It was a great hunt. You know, Todd, next up we've got Chase Larson, who is up in northern Wisconsin. It's also freezing. We got cold temperatures, snow on the ground, and he's sticking it out to the bitter end. Let's see how he does.
Alright everybody, it's January 3rd. It's like -40 out right now, and I am a crazy person. I guess I put the die in bow hunter die. So we're out here in the stand along the field, and it's about 4 o'clock right now. We're gonna see what happens. So we have about an hour left to film light, and well, actually an hour left light total. So just gonna give it a whirl and see what happens. So stick around, guys, stay tuned. Should be a cold hunt, and hopefully we'll see some deer. So hang in there. Bow hunter die. Let's do it. Alright everybody, I'm out at the property again. It's about 7:30 or so, and gave the buck some time to expire. So we just picked up the trail, and looks to be some decent blood, really dark red, so maybe look like I got some liver, maybe top lung. And we're just gonna keep following the trail, and hopefully we'll find him. So stay tuned, guys. Bow hunt or die. Let's do it. Alright everybody, it's January 3rd, and I finally made it happen tonight. I put in hundreds of hours in the stands over this season, and had a lot of small bucks come in, a lot of nubbers, a lot of spikes, a lot of forks, and then had some really great encounters with some big bucks just not coming into range, and finally had this bad boy come in at 30 yards this evening. It's probably like -8 right now, and people were like, don't go out, nothing's gonna happen, and I decided to go out anyways, and sure enough, I was blessed with this gift right here. Meat in the freezer, great hunt, great experience, a great adventure, and I couldn't be more happy. I got another one down for my Mathews E7 Extreme, and it wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for my dad, and if it wasn't for the lease owner. So a big shout out and big thank you to my dad and the lease owner for making everything happen this year possible. So hope everybody had a great season. I know I did. Hopefully see you guys at the upcoming get together this summer, and be safe, have a lot of fun, bow hunt or die, guys.
Well, that was a great hunt that Chase went on. You know, Chase is 19 years old. He's been filming with us for a couple years now, and you know what? He did a great job. Self-filming, in cold temperatures, on the ground. I thought it was a great hunt, Justin. How about you?
Yeah, well, I mean, just like Richie's hunt, you know, you got to hand it to them. They persevered through the cold temperatures all the way through the late season. It's a hard thing to do, man. It's a hard thing to find that motivation to go out there when it's brutally cold and you've been hunting hard and you've kind of had, you know, a rough season. So, you know, I got to hand it to him. He stuck it out. Doesn't have a lot of time to hunt. Being a college student, you know, drove out to the property and managed to get it done. I mean, what else can you say? Congratulations to Chase. Right. You know, it was a good hunt and definitely a great end to a good season for him.
Well, and I know I kept getting texts from Justin this year. You know, I don't think he could get his slippers off. He was so warm and cozy in his house. But
I didn't hunt much late season, I'll admit.
And neither did I. I got to admit. I mean, I truly gave it everything I had in the early season there, trying to get my buck done, and it just kept going on and on. And of course, there's a lot of you out there that are watching this show right now that probably feel the same way. It was a tough year. So you know what? Congratulations to those guys who really put that extra effort in throughout that season in the late, because it makes a difference.
Yeah, it definitely paid off for him. So next up, we're actually going to join Tyler Rector on a late season hunt in Illinois. He's also hunting out of a ground blind over a food plot, so let's see how he does.
January 2nd, set up in the blind tonight. We've been hunting this farm pretty hard out of this blind, mainly because it's pretty easy to get into, and there's quite a few deer on this farm. Just haven't seen any shooters yet, but I know they're here somewhere. We've got cut corn going into the standing corn that I'm in, actually, and we got a bunch of fresh snow last night, and there's a ton of tracks coming in from the south, coming into this food plot. Sometime probably this morning or midday. I didn't check the cameras because I'm running all late, but I'll check them. I'll pull the cards on my way out. But we got extreme colds coming in, and right now it's about 6 degrees. Wind chill's -7, and hopefully that cold and this fresh snow get these deer back up on this food plot tonight. Feeling pretty good about this spot. Been seeing a lot of does from in this area, and I know there's some shooter bucks, but just haven't seen them yet. But hopefully with this cold weather and this fresh snow, maybe that'll get them up and moving a little bit before dark. But we're just gonna sit here and hopefully not freeze to death. I got lower tom turkeys right here coming. happen to look up, and here come these turkeys, 15 to 20 yards. 4 big toms coming in here digging up that corn. I got an archery tag, burning a hole in my pocket, so I came here to shoot deer, but you know what? I'll shoot a turkey any day. I can't die of VHD, so that's awesome. First kill of 2014 with the Mathews Chill. Love it. I might not be able to kill big bucks this year, but that's a pretty good start for my turkey season. We shot a turkey tonight, and then we saw a bunch of deer. And what this turkey did was it flew, my arrow's right there, it flew this way, and it sounded like it crashed in this brush back here, so we're just following splattered blood on top of the snow because it was in the air. And hopefully we find it here shortly. Feathered the blood on it. That's the first kill for 2014 for the Bow Hunt or Die crew, I'm pretty sure. I haven't talked to anybody else yet, but it's not exactly what I came here for. I came here for a big buck, but he was looking pretty tasty, so I shot him. And then I had about, I don't know, between 50 and 60 deer come out tonight. 17 or 18 different bucks, kind of lost count. Nothing over 100 inches, so hopefully one of these days I'll find a deer worth shooting. But we're gonna go ahead and get this thing tagged up and get home and clean it up before it gets frozen anymore.
Well, you know, Todd, as we've documented this year, you know, Tyler had a pretty rough season, a lot of EHD down in his area. And, you know, you probably can't tell it from that hunt because there were so many deer in the food plot, but sometimes it can be deceiving during the late season because those deer really start to group up on the food sources. And in a lot of cases, it makes it look like there's a lot more deer than there are. But, you know, as you can see in the footage, Todd, there just wasn't a lot of mature deer, which, you know, EHD affects the older, more mature deer first. So no big bucks, not a lot of mature does, and just not a deer that Tyler wanted to harvest.
Right. Well, and it makes a lot of sense. You know, if you're in one of those areas where your deer have been decimated a little bit, you know, you have to practice, you know, some management on your own. You know, I mean, I kind of felt the same way. I've talked to other people.
Right.
If you know a lot of deer died in an area, you know, you got to back it off a notch.
Well, you know, and going back to the late season hunting, how we were talking about how we didn't hunt a whole lot, I'll be honest with you, that's part of the reason I didn't hunt a whole lot. I mean, I knew I didn't want to shoot another doe. Deer numbers are down all over the place, so there was no point in it. You know, we had a lot of snow on the ground, which makes getting into some of my better spots out at our lease pretty tough. You know, here close to home, I didn't have a lot of good food sources. The deer were really spread out and kind of scattered around. And it was just like, you know what? I'm going to stay at home with my family where it's nice and warm.
Slippers again.
In my slippers. So next up, we're going to thank the people who took the time to send in their trophy photos for this week's episode.
Brent McKinney,
Philip Seymour,
Brendan Kelly,
Josh Rabska,
the General Brian Escoff.
Hey, thanks everybody for sending in those trophies. Those are some great animals. Now remember, if you want to see yourself right here in an episode of Bow Hunt or Die, go to our Facebook page and submit your photo, or you can go to the homepage of bowhunting.com and click on the Submit Your Trophy button. Well, Todd, that's all we've got for this episode, and actually that's all the new hunting action we're going to have for this year. You know, season 4 is officially winding down.
Wow, you know, Justin, I can't believe it's funny because you're sitting here and you're getting ready to start the show off, and you're like, wow, we got a long way to go, and then all of a sudden it's like over that quick. But before we leave, guys, we're going to be at the Harrisburg show all the way out in Pennsylvania, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. We hope some of you fans stop by and see us for sure. It's our first year at that show. I'm excited. New territory, new friends. I'm pumped.
Yeah, and all you people on the East Coast have funny accents that we get to listen to. But definitely stop out and see us. We're going to be in the archery hall. Just look for the bowhunting.com booth. You certainly can't miss it. And I guess Todd will be back next week with one more episode of Bowhunter Dive before the season wraps up. We're going to do a little bit of a highlight best of episode. So be sure to check back next week. We'll have some more great bow hunting action for you.
In the meantime, don't forget to check out facebook.com/bowhunting for daily updates, news, photos, and other exciting information. We want to hear your opinions and your stories, so join us now and like us on Facebook.
Just a little bit longer. And action.
Well, I shot this turkey this morning. No, I didn't. This afternoon. Well, we shot this buck tonight. I'll start over.
Just dropped my epic cam.